In the vast expanse of the galaxy, the human colony ship Aurora glided through the stars, continuing its journey of peace and exploration. Humanity had earned a respected place in the galaxy through long-standing peace and trade agreements with other alien races. However, this period of tranquility was under threat from an invisible enemy silently approaching. In the ship's main control room, a young and talented biologist named Elliot was intensely focused on the holographic screens before him. Beside him were Mira, the ship's astrophysicist, and Jude, the cybernetics engineer. Elliot was reviewing reports of a deadly plague rapidly spreading across the galaxy, affecting numerous civilizations. "The origin of this virus is still unclear," Elliot said, furrowing his brow. "But what's interesting is that there have been no reported cases in human colonies." "Maybe we've just been lucky," Mira suggested as she examined star maps. "Or maybe we haven't seen the effects yet." "But why are other species being affected so quickly while we show no signs?" "This isn't normal," Jude added, adjusting his cybernetic glasses. At that moment, the ship's communication system received an emergency signal. The screen displayed Zoran, a representative of a friendly alien civilization. His face was pale and filled with concern. "Elliot, Mira, Jude, we need your help. The plague is ravaging our colony. We've heard that humans have immunity. Please, help us," Zoran pleaded. Elliot, taken aback, responded, "Zoran, we'll do everything we can. But we don't know why we're immune either. Perhaps we can find a solution by studying our blood samples and genetic structure," Mira suggested. Jude, however, was cautious. "If they discover the secret to our immunity, it could be used against us. We need to be careful." Amid these concerns, Captain Lennox entered the room. "We've received a message from the Galactic Council. They suspect that humans might be the source of the plague and want to launch an investigation," he said with a serious expression. "That's impossible. We were unaware of this plague as well," Elliot protested. "I understand, but the situation is becoming more complicated. Some races are already starting to show hostility towards humans," Lennox replied. "If we don't act quickly, this misunderstanding could escalate into war," Mira said with concern. The team decided to develop a plan to prove humanity's innocence and discover the true source of the plague. As a first step, they would travel to the regions most affected by the outbreak to study the virus's structure. "I've recalibrated the ship systems and set a course for the affected region. But we might not be welcomed there," Jude warned after swiftly reprogramming the ship systems. "We have to take the risks. It's necessary for our safety and the future of the galaxy," Elliot said with determination. "And if we find the source of our immunity, we might be able to help other species and rebuild trust between us," Mira added. As Aurora sped toward its new destination, each crew member grappled with the uncertainty and anxiety within them. The fate of the galaxy might very well be in their hands, and time was running out. In the quiet of the night, Elliot continued working in his lab, examining human cells and virus samples under a microscope. He had a strong feeling that he was on the verge of discovering something significant. Suddenly, the lab door opened, and Jude entered. "Elliot, we've detected signals from some alien ships heading our way." "They're following us," Jude said. Taking a deep breath, Elliot replied, "Then our time is running out. Whatever I find here could change everyone's fate. You know we trust you." "We'll do whatever it takes," Jude said before leaving the room. Elliot returned to his work and finally noticed a unique genetic sequence in human DNA. This sequence created a natural defense mechanism against the virus. However, this discovery was both a beacon of hope and a potential danger. If this genetic secret fell into the wrong hands, humanity could face a great threat. Elliot immediately informed Mira and Jude of his findings. Mira, excited, exclaimed, "This is an incredible discovery. We could save so many lives with this." But Jude remained cautious. "But what if others use this against us? This genetic information could be weaponized," he warned. "We have to take that risk. If we don't share it, we're already on the brink of war. Perhaps honesty and cooperation are the only ways to get through this crisis," Elliot said resolutely. Just then, the ship's alarm began to blare. Captain Lennox's voice echoed throughout the ship. "Attention! Enemy ships approaching. Prepare for battle." The crew rushed to the bridge to assess the situation. Outside, armed alien ships had surrounded Aurora. "They've trained their weapons on us," I'm trying to establish communication, but they're not responding, Lennox said. Maybe they've misunderstood our message. We need to convey that we want to help them, Mira suggested. Stepping up to the communication console, Elliot spoke. This is Dr. Elliot. Our goal is to find the source of the plague and develop a solution. Please, do not fire. After a tense moment of silence, a response came from one of the alien ships. Humans, your immunity is a threat to us. If you don't share your secrets with us, we will destroy you. See? They already don't trust us, Jude said. Then we need to prove our goodwill, Elliot said with resolve, and decided to share the findings about human immunity. This brave decision could either be the start of peace or bring about the end of humanity. As the Aurora sped through the depths of space, the human crew found themselves trapped in a difficult situation. Elliot and his team, while grappling with tensions with the aliens, had uncovered the secret of their immunity. However, this information was a dangerous secret that could disrupt the balance of the galaxy. No one could decide if this discovery would save the galaxy or further escalate the war. "We've found the source of our immunity," Elliot said, concerned. "But if we share this information, we could lose control." Mira, supporting Elliot, added, "They're after our immunity secret. If we reveal it now, other races might use it too." Jude, watching the screens on the ship's bridge, said, "The alien ships are still tracking us. Without an alliance, we can't get out of this." At that moment, the ship's captain, Lennox, intervened. "There is someone we can contact. Centuries ago, a race called the Virax was known for their advanced ability to fight viruses. But they are believed to have vanished from the galaxy." Mira suggested, "If we can contact this lost civilization, they might help us find the source of the plague." Elliot accessed old records in the galaxy using the ship's computer. The Virax were known as a civilization that developed natural immunity against plagues. If their technology still exists, we can stop this virus. Jude was skeptical. This race hasn't communicated with anyone for hundreds of years. What if they see us as a threat? Elliot responded resolutely, "We have no other choice. We're under pressure from both enemy ships and a plague that could wipe out the entire galaxy. We're forced to seek an alliance." A meeting was quickly convened on the ship, and they set a course for the region where the Virax were thought to have disappeared. As the Aurora navigated this ancient and dangerous area, the alien ships continued to pursue them. Elliot constantly monitored enemy movements in the background, making course changes in an attempt to evade them. After several days of travel, they finally arrived at the region where the Virax were believed to be. However, all they found was a massive wreck. The metal debris drifting in space once symbolized the grandeur of the Virax civilization, but now it was all abandoned. Mira, looking sadly at the scene, asked, "Did they also fall victim to the virus?" Jude, while checking the radar systems, said, "I've detected an energy source. Maybe there are still survivors." The team suited up and began exploring the abandoned wreckage. Filled with fear and uncertainty, they navigated through the vast metal corridors with their lights leading the way. After a while, Elliot stopped in front of a sealed door. "This place looks different. There might be something behind this door," he said. He used the ship systems to hack into the ancient technology and open the door. As the door creaked open, they found a massive laboratory. Covered in dust but still functional, the equipment and holographic screens indicated that something had been left unfinished here. Mira activated one of the holograms, whispering, "These are Virax's research records from before the plague." The screens showed Virax scientists conducting various experiments to stop the plague. However, one record caught their attention. A Virax scientist had been working on a solution similar to human immunity. Elliot, examining the records, realized something. The Virax were trying to develop a defense mechanism similar to human immunity. But the experiments were never completed. Jude suggested, "Maybe if we can complete these experiments, we can both find a cure for the virus and help resurrect the Virax." Just then, the ship system issued an alert. The alien enemy ships had detected Aurora's location and were rapidly closing in. Lennox sent a message from the ship, "Enemy ships are approaching fast. We must return immediately." "If we leave now, we lose our chance to form an alliance," Mira objected. "But staying here puts us at great risk," Elliot said. "We need to find a way to both stop the virus and defend humanity." At that moment, a voice echoed from the depths of the laboratory. "Who are you? What are you doing here?" asked a Virax, who had appeared before them. The team, shocked, stepped back. Before them stood a Virax scientist who had survived from the civilization. Leora, the Virax, was surprised and cautious about their arrival. "Humans, why are you here in the midst of a galaxy-wide plague?" Leora asked suspiciously. "We came to find the source of the plague and to form an alliance," Elliot explained. "Your experiments might help us stop the plague." Leora thought for a moment and then said seriously, "If you truly wish to stop the virus, you may have to make a great sacrifice. Your immunity is just the beginning. But the technology hidden here could forever change the balance in the galaxy." Jude, with determination, replied, "We're not afraid of changing the balance. If we can stop this plague, it will be worth everything." Leora led the team deeper into the laboratory and provided them with more information about the source of the virus. However, she also revealed that this knowledge could completely alter humanity's place in the galaxy. The team decided to use this information to save the galaxy. But they also knew that in doing so, they might provoke an even greater war. The legacy of the Virax was now in the hands of humanity. However, enemy ships were rapidly approaching, and time was running out. They had to return to the Aurora, but now they carried information that could either save or doom the galaxy. The Viraxian scientist, Leora, led Elliot and his team deep into the lab, revealing more about the virus's origin and Virax's unfinished research. However, the advancements Virax had made weren't just about stopping the virus. They held secrets that could change the balance of the galaxy forever. As Elliot studied the data displayed on the holographic screens, he said, "We can use this technology to stop the virus. But the cost will be great." Leora lowered her head. "This technology has led to wars across the galaxy. It could strengthen your immune system and eradicate the virus, but it might also plunge the galaxy into greater conflict. Other species will fear humanity's power." Jude stepped forward, resolute. "If we don't stop this virus, the galaxy will be destroyed anyway. Humans must be willing to take the risk of war." Mira, however, was more cautious. As Leora said, if this technology falls into the wrong hands, it could mean the end of the galaxy. "Can we bear that responsibility?" The ship's captain, Lennox, took a deep breath and looked at his crew. "Time is running out. Enemy ships are closing in on us. This decision will determine not just our fate, but the fate of all humanity," he said. The team fell silent for a moment. Time was running out, and the sound of enemy ships approaching filled the ship's alarms. Elliot, as the leader, knew he had to make the decision. After a moment of hesitation, Elliot spoke with determination. "We can't let the virus destroy the galaxy. Humanity has faced great dangers before. We can win this war too," he said, turning to Leora to complete the experiments. "What do we need to do?" Seeing Elliot's resolve, Leora activated a device in the deepest part of the Virax lab. This device can alter the genetic code that controls the virus. "We've developed a solution based on human immunity, but the Virax civilization collapsed before they could use this technology," she explained. Elliot took a deep breath and said, "Start it." Leora activated the device. As genetic data processed rapidly on the holographic screens, the sounds of the enemy ships grew louder. The ship's alarm blared. Lennox sent out a warning from the ship. "Enemy ships have entered close range." "We need to act now," Jude shouted. "Prepare the ship for battle. We don't have time to retreat." The team quickly assumed their battle positions. Enemy ships quickly closed in on Aurora's position. As Elliot raced against time to use Virax technology to stop the virus, Jude and the other team members prepared for a massive space battle. Mira, monitoring the control panel, asked, "Dozens of enemy ships are coming. What are our chances?" Jude narrowed his eyes and replied, "Not great. But we can't lose this fight," he said, placing his hands on the weapons controls. The team prepared Aurora's weapon systems and engaged the enemy ships. As explosions and laser fire lit up the sky, Elliot and Leora continued their work in the lab, determined to complete the technology that would stop the virus. As the battle raged on, Elliot paused for a moment. "We've altered the genetic code of the virus. But to deploy this device across the entire galaxy, a sacrifice will be needed. We can't activate it from here. We'll need to place the device on the enemy ships," he said. Lennox, with a serious expression, replied, "If we do that, there's no turning back. We can use all the device's energy on the enemy ships to stop the virus, but we'll have to sacrifice Aurora as well." Jude looked at Elliot and asked, "Are we really going to sacrifice our ship to win this war?" Elliot, resolute, said, "If we don't sacrifice this ship, the galaxy is lost anyway." The crew exchanged glances. Fear and hesitation were etched on everyone's faces, but they knew a choice had to be made. Lennox took a deep breath and declared, "We'll place the device. Aurora will be humanity's last line of defense." As Jude and Lennox prepared to place the Virax device on the enemy ships, Elliot and Mira continued to manage the battle from the ship's control room. Leora gave final instructions to the team and explained how the device would work. Aurora sped towards the enemy ships. Jude and Lennox bravely left the ship and placed the device at the heart of the enemy fleet. When the device was activated, a massive energy wave spread throughout the galaxy. The virus's genetic code was altered, and all species in the galaxy gained immunity to it. But the victory came at a great cost. Aurora was destroyed in a massive explosion, and the crew members became heroes who made the ultimate sacrifice. The virus was stopped across the galaxy, and humanity played a key role in this great victory. However, this sacrifice also changed how other species viewed humans. They would be remembered as the heroes who saved the galaxy, but this new balance of power could lead the galaxy to the brink of even greater conflict. I hope you had a good time. If you liked my story, do not forget to comment and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, see you in the next story.